Hi everybody, this is Calgary Elite Real Estate Team, and today we've got myself, Chad Chapman, Phil LePage, and 𝐂𝐚𝐥𝐸, and we're going to be discussing the impact of COVID-19 and how it's changed buyer preferences and how it might affect sellers as well. So let's just get into it. There's a few things that we've been noticing in the market trends right now, especially going out with buyers, this COVID-19, it's going to be largely over, and however long it is, in a month, few months, whatever, but there is going to be some residual effects on how it's going to change buyer preferences in years to come. So here's what we see happening right now. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, certainly we think that buyers are interested in using the home space differently, for sure. Many homes, many families are seeing the need for 2 offices, homework spaces, things like that. So I think one thing that we've discussed for sure and see with our buyers is wanting the extra bedrooms now to be potentially, instead of guest bedrooms, but office spaces that are more permanent potential office space. I don't know how you feel about that, Ken.
Yeah, I think there's going to be lots of people looking for those things in the new type home. They're going to be looking for bedrooms with attached bathrooms in case one of the family members gets sick. They're going to be looking for better air quality in the house. I believe they're going to be looking for more space. I know the buyers that we talk to are looking for more space, and even that they don't have to go downtown or go to work on a regular basis, that they can work from home. They can virtually live almost anywhere because, unless they, depending on how kids get along in school this year, that's going to be a big deterrent or a big factor, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had a conversation with a seller this week about potentially putting a less than 100 square foot home or room out in the backyard to be able to have an office outside of the home space.
That's a good one.
So that was another conversation of winterizing, having electricity to a 96, so 8 by 12 square foot room that they would, like, I guess back in the day would have been like a pool room or pool house or something. And instead now it's an idea for an office space so they can get out of the house and still be at home.
Yeah, I love that. So let's expand on the office space a little bit right now. And whether you think the downtown is going to shut down or not, there are going to be more people working from home, right? So lots of people right now are looking for at least one office space where they can, whether you're just getting away from your significant other, whether you want to separate your living space from your workspace still, or whether you need a noise or distraction-free environment for maybe your kids or pets or whatever it might be. People are looking for at least one exclusive office space, and 2 is better than 1 right now.
Yes.
And to your point, so I guess from a seller's perspective, do you have a single detached garage in the back? Are you in a neighborhood that's prevalent with those, or even a single attached right now that you can't really use for a vehicle, and maybe you're just using it for storage? Does it have a window in it? Can you convert that to a usable office space? You've already got electricity to it. Maybe cut in a little bit an exterior window to increase the natural light to it, right?
Yeah.
But that's something that a finished space that if you could get a little bit of heat and natural light to, that's something you could use 365 days a year potentially.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I think the city is going to be looking at probably approving more carriage type homes too, so that they have an extra room above the garage they can use for that space. For either an office or even for some family members that would be looking for some extra care, right, in case they got sick or whatever. Yeah. That they can go into that carriage home, right?
Yeah, and good examples of that are in Garrison Woods. There, you have that concept with the detached garages. If it's a oversized double garage, you have a 400 square foot, 600 square foot space. If it's a triple garage, where you can have that as a second income kind of income generator, or it's a great office space where you get out of the house. So the units that I know that have that set up, I'd say 75% of them don't even rent it out. Yeah. They're used for their own family office space and self-employed business.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of carriage houses as well because of the range of them. They work in lower price neighborhoods as a rental income, or they can go all the way up to the $1 million+ market, where now it's not a rental suite. Now it's your guest house, is somewhere where friends and family can come stay out of town.
Yeah.
And maybe the other weekends that they're not there, it can be used as a short-term Airbnb for some of the higher demand times, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's also, especially now, or any time, but especially highlighted now, a lot less invasive to have somebody staying, you know, in a house over your garage in a separate building versus under the same roof as you in your basement, right?
Good point,
Yeah, and like you said, the reality is this new era, we're going to see people going downtown maybe only 2 to 3 days a week instead of 5 days a week, maybe rotation basis with some companies. So then they have that office space at home, can still get in there 8 hours a day without a problem. I mean, we're hearing that people are more efficient, you know, 8 hours at the office plus 2 hours of commute plus everything else, they can get their work done in less time. So that's certainly, I think, where we're seeing things go. You know, as far as the yard space and larger yards, so we are seeing that some people talking about moving to the burbs because they do get more yard space, and it's typically lower cost dollar per square foot of a home and the lot, and so wanting more exterior space because there are less interaction, less gym time and stuff like that, where you're going to facilities now, you want to do things outside in your own yard.
Yeah, and that's another big thing. You're probably going to see a lot of people like you look at it now. You can't buy a piece of gym equipment for your house now. Yeah. It's all sold out. You can't buy a stationary bike. You can't buy a treadmill. All this stuff because people aren't going to the gyms and they're putting all those facilities in homes. So you're going to be looking at people that are going to spend a little bit more money if they're into physical fitness and that, and want to spend some time at home in their gym.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So that wraps up our discussion today on how we feel COVID-19 is impacting buyer preferences, as well as how it's impacting some resale values and what sellers may want to consider before putting their house back on the market. We'd love to get some feedback and hear what you agree or disagree with. And if you feel like we've missed anything, please put in the comments at the bottom. Or similarly, if there's any other topics that you'd like to see covered in the coming weeks, let us know, and we'd love to get that information out to you. So if anybody wants to discuss any of this in detail, our information for the Calgary Real Estate team is right here at the bottom, as well as myself, Phil, and Ken's information if anybody wants to discuss how it may impact your situation, because everyone's is a little bit different.
Well, it's easy to say that our last few meetings, it seems that more and more sellers are looking to buy further out. And as we mentioned, we have a recent sale in Elk Valley west of Bragg Creek. We also have acreages for sale, as well as a great acreage west of Cochrane for 14 acres, getting a home with walkout basement, triple garage. Did I say 14 acres already?
14 acres.
14 acres. And 6 minutes from Cochrane, great little town, all for $850. So there's a lot of people in the past that were talking about, maybe simpler life and stuff. Well, now that's coming reality for a lot of people. And that's what this whole discussion was about. How do we get to that point?
Absolutely.
And here it is.
Yeah, and the big thing about there, it has Wi-Fi, great Wi-Fi out there.
Yeah, all the things we discussed, exactly.
Yeah, it's actually got some nice views. It's a nice piece of property,
yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. It's amazing. Well, we've had, again, numerous views, lots of showings. And, if someone's interested, give us a shout.
Yeah. And you can click on the link below if you wanna check that property out in detail as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
That's better.
Don't write it down. It's better just to come off the tongue.
No, it's just give me one more take. Oh, not yet.
Click.
By the way, we can take turns driving too.
Totally.
Right?
Take turns.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Cut there, so we can cut that out, and then how do we want to cap it? Because we'll still have yours, right? Right. Okay. Yeah, I can point down, and we have a banner across the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Action.